Hello everyone. Today we will be learning about effect of ice and wind on sag. As you all are aware that towers are placed at different places. That means for suppose if the towers are at hilly areas, what will happen if wind is high on the conductor and if there is certain ice falling on the conductor at the hilly areas or else any areas where ice is available, so that will put definitely some pressure on the conductor. So let us see effect of ice and wind on the sag. So before understanding this, you have to think of two things. That is, first see, whenever there is ice loaded on the conductor, for suppose there is a conductor like this, that means there is sag in the conductor and ice is loaded on the conductor. What will happen? First thing is that conductor will have certain weight. It is for sure. Again, now this ice is now again loaded on the conductor and it is now further increasing the weight of the conductor. So that weight will be definitely acting vertically downwards. You are now very clear with this. Again, when you see if the same conductor is hanging and there is certain wind force, that means from this side or this side. When this happens, what is happening? That is, the conductor is now horizontally moving. That means front or back or left or right. That means horizontal movement is there. Now it is very clear that vertical movement and horizontal movement is there on the conductor and it is acting. So let us now derive the formula for that and let us try to understand how this is vertically and horizontally acting. Now let me take a conductor like this and there is ice on the conductor at the outermost surface. Okay, now this part, this center part is the exact diameter of the conductor. Okay, now this part and this part is ice. I can take as T. I am taking it as T. And this entire part is now loaded with ice. Okay. Now this is very clear for you. Now when I consider from this point to this point, the total distance or else the total diameter will be D plus T plus T. I mean, first I am writing the diameter of the conductor, then I am writing the diameter of the ice, and again I am writing the diameter of the ice. So this will be totally, this can be written as D plus 2T. Okay. Now this is very clear. Now let me take only conductor. When only conductor is there, I said you that wind will be affected on this. There is certain wind force on this. This is conductor and this is wind. Okay. So wind is now affecting the conductor. Now what happens when this wind is affecting on the conductor and what happens when ice is loaded on the conductor? Let us see. Now I will draw these two vectors and then finally I will write an simple vector. See here. Now this ice is there. This is now affecting the weight of the conductor, right? Now for suppose if W is the weight of the conductor. Okay, now W is the weight of the conductor. Now if there is ice on this, if there is certain ice on this, now can I write it as W plus Wi, and this Wi is given as weight of ice. Is it clear? Yeah. Now when there is certain wind acting on the conductor, I can give it as W. So wind is acting on the conductor. So this is weight of the conductor and that wind is acting on the conductor. Now see, I said you that horizontally wind is acting. Okay. Now this conductor is now acting vertically. So where it will act? Definitely downward. So I am taking one more vector which is acting downward. Now this WW is horizontal. This is WW, and this W plus Wi is vertical. Now it is very clear. Now when you take the entire resultant of it, that is definitely the vector resulting in this direction, and when you trace this, I can write it as Wt. This is the total weight of the conductor, where this weight of ice, weight of conductor as well as wind is now acting. Now as per the Pythagoras theorem, I can write now Wt is equal to opposite square plus adjacent square. So I can write it now under root of W plus Wi whole square plus WW whole square. This is the final expression for the total weight of the conductor which is acting on this, and this is the angle theta which is made. These are the vectorical notations of wind force as well as the effect of ice on the conductor. Now let me explain the total part. Now I will be deriving the entire calculations of effect of ice and wind on sag. Now take W as weight of the conductor per unit length. Okay. Now as per the physics formula, we have density is equal to mass by volume. I can write this as rho is equal to m by v. Now if I want mass, that is weight, I can write this as m is equal to rho into v. Now let us apply this formula to get the exact weight of the conductor. Now m, that is weight, can be written as density of the conductor, density of the conductor material. Okay. Next, into volume of the conductor per unit length. This is the exact formula what you have seen in the textbook. And weight of ice is equal to density of ice into volume of ice per unit length. Now here again we are going to see little bit calculations to find out the volume of the ice per unit length. So let us see what is that. So density of ice will remain same, but in order to calculate this volume of ice per unit length, we are going to check what are that. Conductor is cylindrical in shape. Suppose if ice is now loaded on this conductor like this. Suppose this entire part is ice. Now what happens is we have to calculate the volume of only ice. Okay. Now in order to calculate that, what we should do is we have to go for the volume of the cylinder formula. So that is volume of cylinder is equal to pi r square h. So now I will be replacing this h with L. Why? Because we are going to use it for the unit length. So this is L. So this formula will be pi r square into L. So this is unit length. So I can write it as pi into r square only into 1. So with this volume of the cylinder, you can see it as pi r square into L. This is the volume of the cylinder formula. But you all are aware that radius is equal to diameter by 2. I am going to take this and substitute it here, simple. So we will get volume is equal to pi into d by 2 whole square. Okay. Now I have pi d square by 4 is the volume. So now see here, diameter is now there with respect to this formula. Let us check what we should do. D plus 2t is the total diameter of the conductor with the ice. Okay, but we need only ice. For that, what we will do is we will replace this d with d plus 2t. If we remove this conductor material, then definitely that ice will be remaining, right? So see here how I am going to derive the formula. So I will write density of ice into, what is the volume of ice per unit length? That is pi d square by 4. Pi into d square by 4. Now how am I going to write this? You have to see now. See here, again I will write density of ice into pi by 4. Now d square is there. I am going to substitute this d plus 2t in this d square. So what will happen? D plus 2t whole square. Okay. Now I have substituted this here. Now can I say, if I remove this part, that means the conductor material part, d square from this, I will get the exact volume of the ice per unit length. So it is per unit length. So what am I going to do? Into 1. Reducing it, what we will get? Here, density of ice into pi by 4 and the bracket d square plus 4t square plus 4 dt minus d square. This is what we will get. Now this d square gets cancelled. Now we have 4t square, 4 dt. So I can take 4t as common here. All this into pi by 4. I said you that 4t I am going to take common. 4t into 4t. After taking 4t as common, I can write it as d plus t. This is the derivation of this, and again we can write it as density of ice into pi by 4 and these all things. Now this 4 and this 4 will be cancelled. So the final formula for ice will be Wi is equal to density of ice into pi t into d plus t. This is the expression for weight of ice. We will calculate W, that is wind force on conductor. Okay. Now what can we write from this is, again I have an formula here. So we have pressure is equal to force by area. So we have force here. That means we are going to find out force. What can we write? So force is equal to pressure into area. Alright. Now let us take this and substitute here into area. Wind pressure on conductor into what is their area. Now effective area per unit length. I can write this wind pressure on conductor per unit area and effective area per unit length of the conductor. Now it is very simple now. Wind pressure into effective area is d plus 2t. This is the final expression for wind force per unit. We are going to see the slant sag and vertical sag formula. For that we have one more formula before that. See, this is theta angle. So when the conductor tries to settle down to its place, what will be the formula? That is tan theta is equal to opposite by adjacent. Now here opposite side is this one, this part, and adjacent side is this part, as the angle is here. Now this opposite side is the same length of this one, WW. So I can now write it as tan theta is equal to opposite side is this one, that means this length. So this is opposite side and I can write it as WW. But the adjacent side is now this one. You can see it very clearly. Adjacent side is W plus WI. W plus WI. You will get the angle at which the sag is going to settle down. Now I am going to tell you the formula for the slant sag. That is S is equal to WT into L square by 2T. So this formula you can see it in the lecture of sag calculations. I have given you there that Y is equal to Wx into x square by 2T will be there. So from there this derivation is there. But at this point we are going to see this is the slant sag. And now you want to see the vertical sag formula, means we can write it as, that is vertical component. What is there? You see in the diagram, you can find out. So vertical sag is equal to S cos theta. This is the vertical sag formula. A small important note that in problems they are going to ask you the diameter of the conductor. So don't be surprised in the problem whenever they ask the diameter how to calculate it. So it is very simple. From this you can write it as, see, you want diameter, right? You have to send this 4 this side and you have to send this pi, at down. So what can we get this from this? Here I am going to write it as d square is equal to area into 4 by pi. Is it clear? Area into 4 by pi is d square. Now d will be equal to under root of area into 4 by pi. So whenever he gives area, you have to find out the diameter. In some problems it will be there. I hope this will be very helpful for you. This is the effect of ice and wind on the sag. I hope you have understood this.